What is going on, everybody? Chris from the Bass Channel, and today we are kind of just relaxing and having a conversation about the Spector NS Pulse 4. And the reason that we're gonna just kind of have more of a conversation about this bass, instead of doing our normal, here's Josh playing it, and here's so-and-so playing it, and here's Dave, and here's Chuck, and whatever else, is because of the 3 basses that Spector sent me recently, this one's mine. I get to keep this one. This one does not get to go back. So therefore, I get to be a little bit more critical about it, a little bit more opinionated about it. We're just gonna talk about what I like and don't like. All right, so let's just check out the specs on the phone. I haven't memorized these, so I'm just gonna read you the specs right off the website. The body wood is solid swamp ash, and upon close inspection, it is a 3-piece body. The seams are much easier to see on the sides here. The neck is a 3-piece roasted maple bolt-on neck with ebony fretboard, 24 frets, dot inlays, graphite nut, 1.57-inch nut, so just a smidge thicker than a jazz bass, 34-inch scale, of course. The tuners up here are just the no-brand sealed die-cast tuners. I do have a thing to talk about that in a second, but let's move on to the bridge. Spector's, almost Spector's locking high mass bridge. There is a little bit of difference here from the Euro series. And then, of course, you've got my favorite EMG PJ pickups. These are just the straight EMG P and EMG J, so it's the 9-volt standard ceramic, regular amount of headroom, compression, all that sort of thing. You've got 2 volumes, 1 per pickup, and a 2-band, they call it a boost-only EQ. That's not entirely accurate. I forget the exact spec. Put them right here, and now if I'm wrong, it's gonna look hilarious. But it's basically to where you're getting more bass than you are treble. So if you were to, example, put them at the halfway point, you're boosting the bass more than you are the treble. So to have it like a flat response, which you would think is minimum, is not the case. Treble approximately halfway and bass approximately a quarter of the way, give or take, is more or less a flat response. So you have much more travel to boost the bass than you do the treble. Let's see what else. We got a 5-bolt neck. Off the bat, we'll start with the pros, the good, the positives, the pluses. It's a very comfortable bass to play. It feels good in my hand, and it sounds fantastic. This is probably going to become one of, if not my #1 recording bass, my go-to for kind of the sound that I like. Obviously, it won't fit every bill, but it'll definitely be in the top 3 of the ones that I reach for, whether it's for Lunar Satan or for what have you. Definitely fits the bill. A lot of that is because it's got the EMG pickups, which I am a huge fan of the EMG pickups. These are the ceramic, just regular P and J. Obviously, as you can see, we have the Cinder Red version. There are pluses and minuses to this finish. The plus is obviously it looks fucking rad. And obviously, as you see, it's got the matching headstock, which is another nice touch. Now, in the amount of time that I've had this bass, we've used it for a couple different things. Most notably, Josh did a couple Pantera covers of it, of Domination. And of course, fucking Hostile. But other than for that, I have loaned it to Jayme Lewis. He did some recordings with Shim Moore on his Twitch stream, which if you want to check that out and subscribe to his Twitch, do so in the link in the description below. But I do have a quick excerpt of them recording with this bass. I loaned Jayme, I think, 4 basses, and they kind of went through trying each of them, and it is pretty funny to see how they both unanimously picked this as the clear winner. So let's just cut to that clip.
What we're gonna do is play through about 3 or 4 songs. I'm sorry, 3 songs, but we're gonna play around with like 4 different basses to see which ones are gonna be the tones for the record. Then we probably won't track anything, but if we do, it'll be because the bass sounds so great. Otherwise, I'll need to put strings on it, set it up, because I'm borrowing all these from my friend. Hey, shout out to my friend Chris from the Bass Channel. He's super fucking awesome.
It's called the Bass Channel?
Yeah. His channel's called the Bass Channel.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I know, it's good branding.
Is
smart.
it you? That is smart. Yeah.
YouTube channel.
It's a YouTube channel. Yeah, good.
Yeah, he's smart. This one just looks fucking cool. Check this out.
That
You see
looks dope,
that
yeah.
paint job. All right, let's try it.
3, 4.
I'm not gonna lie, dude.
What?
I like this one better.
Oh, that's better for sure. We're using that.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
positive.
I would use that on your going down,
I'm
too.
positive this instrument's a fraction of the price too. Yeah, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
this
that's the
one
one.
definitely won me over
Yeah.
for this song.
Yeah,
and
for
it's
sure.
already like it's set up for drop C.
Perfect.
Yeah, if you wanted to track today,
Well-
we could do it with this.
Yeah, this is good, man. I really like this sound for it. Yeah. So that's
dude,
the
I
bass.
think that's the one,
That's
man.
That's the bass for all 3 songs. And I think
Active,
that's going to
yes,
be
it's an active bass. Yes.
that's going to be the bass that I'm going to call you and say, "Cool, I'm ready to do the next 5, 6 new songs."
Yeah.
That's the sound, dude. That is
yeah.
a killer sound.
I'm hitting up Spector.
Yeah, actually,
I need one.
I need
We
one
to do
too.
this. We need to do this.
I need to get one too. But
Hey, Chris, how you doing, man?
Chris, I
Bro,
can't
this
see the
bass
chat.
is killing it. It's the one.
Oh,
One
it's
out-
Chris that loaned us the bass.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Chris, for this awesome bass. Both Jayme and I need one for our homes.
Yeah, this is gonna be the one for all of them, I think.
And as far as the sound samples that I'm going to show in this video, I've got a handful of songs queued up in which I'm just going to record and do a couple different tonal things, mostly with the preamp on board, and I'm going straight into my Tascam US 2020 interface. So on the songs that call for distortion, I'm using the Dark Glass plugin. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to use the Dark Glass plugin for everything, just so we can keep the cab sim and whatnot consistent. Distortion will be on a couple of them will be totally clean, but still have the cabinet with the Shure Beta 52 cab sim. So let's check this out. Another thing that I really love too is this 3-piece roasted neck. I am a huge fan of roasted maple neck. Roasted really anything, but you mostly see roasted maple. It just feels really comfortable in the hand. There's no gloss. I don't know if it's a satin thing or whatever, but roasted necks typically have that really slick feel that's really comfortable. I'm guessing the radius is probably a 12-inch. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's definitely a flatter radius, which I am a huge fan of. So the bass feels great, it looks great, it sounds great. However, it's not perfect, it's not without its flaws. So we'll just touch on a couple of the flaws. First up, with the finish, as cool as it looks, I have run into 2 issues. The most notable being when you're playing a little hard and maybe you're getting a little sweaty, the paint rubs off. So when we were doing the cover with Josh playing Domination, he was doing a couple takes of it and he went to go look at his hand and thought his thumb was bleeding. It wasn't bleeding, the paint rubbed off on his thumb, and if you look closely, QB roll here, you will see a part of where his thumb was, where the paint kind of rubbed off. So one thing to note, maybe should have gone with the charcoal gray finish. This looks better, but maybe that would have lasted a little bit longer. did have an issue with this tuner. Pretty much every tuner like this has these little O-rings in here that basically stops the peg from wanting to thread itself down. That I don't know if it came out of the factory or if who knows what happened, but for some reason the O-ring on the D tuner was snapped. It was broken. So when I started to tune it, the tuner was just trying to thread into itself and it became really hard to tighten. So luckily I had an extra washer. If you look at it up close, it looks pretty hilarious because the washer is way too big for the tuning peg, but it works. So I'll probably replace the tuners anyway. Another con is the bridge. The bridge works great once it's set up. Setting it up is a little bit of a hassle because these saddles are just free floating. When you unlock this bridge mechanism, they can just go. They can just fall out. You can lose them. Your dog could eat them. That could be a whole slew of vet bills that you don't want. So I would have liked to see the threaded posts in there. Again, not a tremendous deal breaker. Just a thing I would have liked to see.
No, the sunshine never push across that line. Just stay down this time. Hiding yourself, crawling yourself. You'll have your time. Gotta make them pay. Take it back one day. I'll end this day. I'll splatter color on this grave. Waiting for the one. The day that never comes. When you stand up and feel the warmth. But the sunshine never comes.
I think the thing I like the least about this bass is probably the TonePump Junior preamp. There is arguments that having no detents and having it, which again we've touched on, it's not actually boost only, but it feels like it's boost only. The proponents of that would say, well, then you just get to use your ears. You're not sitting there, okay, detent, let's roll it back 6 degrees. That's my sound. You just tweak it until that sounds good. That's cool. And you know what? That's a good point. But for me, when I do a lot of recordings, I'm working remote. So I'm answering to somebody in Nashville and they say, hey, can you do something a little different in that bridge part? And if it's 2 days later and I've done something else with this bass, I'm like, oh shit, now I need to know where my knobs were because I need to punch in at the bridge. So I'm not really a big fan of onboard preamps anyway, because I'm predominantly doing recording and not really much gigging. Anything that I can do here, I can do there. So what I'm gonna do with this bass, the first thing I'm gonna do is take this preamp out, because obviously, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of active pickups. That does not mean active basses. Active here and active here are two completely different things, and they can exist with or without each other. So not really a fan of the active 2-band. I'll probably take that out and go pick up straight to jack. I might call my friends at EMG and just for fun try some different pickups, but these are fine. I like them. The standard classic EMG ceramic PJ, always a winner in my book for what I do and what I want to hear. The other thing too, obviously, like we've touched on with this tuner, probably going to replace the tuners, maybe do a hip shot drop tune. But I do like the black. All the black hardware looks really cool with the cinder red. And that is pretty much my take on this Spector NS Pulse 4. All in all, I really do love it. It sounds good, it feels good, it looks awesome. And those little minor inconveniences I can either live with or take it upon myself to fix. So really any instrument, how many of them are 100% perfect right out of the box? Not that many. A lot of people are going to change strings, change tuners, change electronics, whatever it might be. But all in all, I think this is 90% of the way there for me. So huge thank you to Spector for sending this out and letting me keep it. Very much looking forward to what they send next. And I'm looking forward to that haggle process of figuring out how to not send it back. So that is just about all I have to say with this. Hope you've enjoyed my take on it. Hope you've enjoyed the sound samples of the various songs that I've recorded with it. And with that, we will see you in a couple days.